You know that giant wall of text you see before you click I agree? Well, pretty much nobody reads it. So today, we're going to do it for you. We're diving deep into the terms and conditions for the online betting platform Parimatch. Let's find out what you're really signing up for.
All right, let's kick things off with the single most important word in their entire rulebook, wager. Now, this isn't just a friendly bet. The second you place a wager, you're entering a binding agreement, a contract. And guess who sets all the rules for that contract? They do. This one concept is the key to understanding everything that follows.
So here's our game plan. We're going to walk through the typical user's journey. First, we'll look at what makes these platforms so attractive. Then, we'll see how it works on the surface. After that, we're pulling back the curtain on the rules you usually skip. We'll weigh the good and the bad, and we'll wrap up with a final verdict.
So what is the big deal with platforms like Parimatch anyway? I mean, the online betting scene is absolutely exploding, especially in places like India. And a huge part of that is the marketing, right? It's all presented as this super exciting, glamorous, and really easy way to get in on the action.
And the promise is, well, it's pretty simple and powerful. It's an entire casino and sportsbook right in your pocket. You want to bet on a cricket match, a big football game, play a few hands of poker? It's all right there, 24/7, no matter where you are. That combination of endless choice and total convenience is incredibly appealing.
Okay, so how does it all work? Well, from the outside looking in, it's designed to be as easy as possible. They want you to get signed up and start playing fast, with almost no friction. But as we're about to see, that simplicity, it's really just the tip of the iceberg.
It looks like a super simple four-step dance. Sign up, put some money in, place a bet, and then cash out your winnings. Sounds easy enough, right? And that's exactly the point. But the real story is hidden in the details of each of those steps, and that's what we're going to dig into right now.
And here we are. This is the part of the journey most people just scroll right past. It's the legal fine print, the terms and conditions. This is where the real rules of the game are laid out, and it's exactly where we need to focus our attention.
So here's a thought experiment. Let's say you deposit some money, maybe 1,000 rupees. But then, life happens and you change your mind before you place a single bet. You should be able to just take it out, right? It's your money. Well, here's the answer, straight from their rulebook. This is one of the most critical rules on the entire platform, and it catches so many people by surprise. It's called a wagering requirement. And notice this applies to your deposited money, not just some bonus they gave you.
So what does that actually mean in plain English? If you put in that 1,000 rupees, you are now legally required to bet at least 700 of it before you can even ask to withdraw a single rupee. Your money is basically held hostage until you gamble with most of it. That is a total game changer.
Okay, but let's say you play by their rules. You've met that 70% requirement, you made some bets, and hey, you actually won. That's awesome. So now, getting that cash out should be the easy part, shouldn't it? Well, not so fast. Before you see your winnings, you're likely going to have to go through a process called verification, or KYC. It stands for Know Your Customer, and it means you have to send them personal ID documents. But here's the real kicker. While they're checking your stuff, they have the right to completely freeze your account. No transactions in or out.
So you see, cashing out isn't just a simple click of a button. It's not automatic. It's a formal request that can kick off a whole verification process. And during that time, your money is just stuck in limbo.
But what if your documents are fine, everything's in order, but something about your betting or maybe how much you're winning just looks weird to them? Even if you think you're playing fair and square, how does the platform deal with just suspicion?
This right here might be the single most powerful clause in the entire agreement. It basically says Parimatch can suspend or even shut down your account because of a completely subjective feeling, a loss of trust. They don't have to prove you did anything wrong, and there's no clear way for you to fight it.
The bottom line is this: their gut feeling can completely override your access to your own account and your own money. It really shows you just how much power you're handing over when you click agree.
Whew. Okay, now that we've seen some of these hidden rules, let's zoom out and look at the whole picture. We need to weigh the shiny promise of the platform against the pretty harsh reality we found buried in the terms and conditions. On one side, you've got the stuff that pulls you in. It's super convenient, there's a huge variety of games, and they throw tempting bonus offers at you. But on the other side, well, that's where the reality check comes in.
There's a very real risk of losing money, a serious danger of addiction, a maze of complex rules, and, oh yeah, it's on you to figure out if it's even legal where you live.
To make all of this feel a little more real, let's walk through a quick scenario. Let's invent a user. We'll call him Ravi. He just saw an ad, and he's excited to give it a shot.
So Robbie signs up, he deposits 5,000 rupees, and he even gets a nice little welcome bonus. He places a few bets, he wins, his balance is growing, he's feeling great. But then he goes to cash out and hits a brick wall. First, he hasn't met that 70% wagering rule on his own cash. Plus, his bonus has its own even higher wagering rule. And to top it all off, now they're asking for his ID. All of a sudden, his money is completely trapped.
So, what's the final verdict? Look, a platform like this might be for a really experienced bettor, someone who gets the risks and has actually read the entire rulebook. But it should absolutely be avoided by anyone new to this, anyone who might be prone to addiction, or anyone who isn't okay with losing every single rupee they put in. And if you are going to do it, be smart. Read the terms, verify your ID right away, set hard spending limits, and check your local laws.
And this is probably the most important thing to remember out of all of this. This is not an investment. It's not a side hustle. It is high-risk entertainment, and you should only ever play with money you are 100% prepared to lose.
And if you do decide to play, you have to use the responsible gambling tools. It's non-negotiable. Set deposit limits before you start. Never, ever chase your losses. That's a recipe for disaster. Know when to walk away. And please, seek help if you feel like you're losing control.
So we'll leave you with one final question. Remember that first slide where we talked about a wager being a binding agreement? Well, now that you've seen a bit more of what's actually in that agreement, is that a wager you're still willing to make?